What's going on, guys? Thanks to those joining me live and to those joining me on archive. You know, I understand that this is old news. Yeah, I get that. I mean, it's been how long now? It's been quite a while. Okay, it's been quite some time, right? Since Mayweather fought Maidana. Um, Me personally, I don't like care um, about details a lot when it comes to boxing. Okay, I just don't. But I just saw a video today by Ali Setback. By the way, if you want to check out the actual video, I'm not going to play the audio. So you could Ali's channel. It was posted today. I'm not the biggest fan of Ali Setback, but sometimes he'll get an interview and the people in the interview say some great stuff. Let's go back to memory lane here. All right. Hold on, this antivirus popped up. Come on now. Don't start running a virus scan right now. All right. There's very few things that have pissed me off in lead ups to fights. Okay. And if you're a sensitive Mayweather fan, maybe this isn't the video for you. Okay. But I still remember like it was yesterday. All right. And it was all over. It's the age of social media. And we're going to go piece by piece here, okay? I could understand the first gloves, the custom-made gloves with the Argentine logo and all that, okay? I could understand the concern over those gloves, okay? Like, I get it. Now, I listened to Robert Garcia's interview, and he claims that the reason the gloves look so used up and all that is because the Mayweather, like Leonard Allerby and everybody else in the Mayweather camp was putting them on and touching them and banging their hands against them and softening them up. So by the time the commission looked at it, they said, "Yeah, these do look kind of worn out." Well, that's kind of weak, Robert, right? Because the reason that's weak is because if the gloves got worn out that easy, okay, then they're probably not good gloves. Okay. Um, so Maidana could have put them on, just banged his. This is a monster puncher. He just banged the gloves against the wall or against the gloves themselves, and he'd have them, you know, soften up in no time. So I understand those first gloves. Now keep in mind that those first gloves, however, were approved by the commission. Even with that said, they were approved by the commission beforehand, right? And then they changed their mind when supposedly the Mayweather team felt them up. Fine, right? I'll give you that one. But forget about those. The fact that Marcos Maidana couldn't wear the MX gloves, or even, they had even said, okay, fine, we'll wear the Cleto Reyes gloves. And the Mayweather team was still saying no. He fought Robert Guerrero with he wore Cleto Reyes gloves, right? But I mean, we understand that Robert Guerrero is not a monster puncher, so that explains a lot, right? Till this day, that honestly, that pissed me off. There's very few things that piss me off at the lead up of a fight because that was not in the. A lot of people say, "Hey, if you agreed to it in the contract, that was not in the contract." Now, Robert Garcia confirms that, right? That was not in the contract. How do we know it was in the contract? Mayweather paid $1.5 million so Maidana couldn't wear any type of MX or Cleto Reyes gloves. That is insane. He forked out 1.5 million because he didn't want Marcos Maidana to wear the puncher's gloves that Marcos Maidana fought everybody else in. Everybody else fought Maidana with those gloves, but Mayweather didn't want to. And I get it, right? Well, he's the A side. He's this, he's that, right? Well, at the end of the day, you have to question why he didn't want Marcos Maidana to wear those gloves. Like I said, let's backtrack. The custom-made ones with the Argentine cutters, I get it, right? You know, you get to pick two, right? And the team gets to protest the gloves. That's fine. I mean, I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. Okay, but like just in general, not allow him to wear gloves that are perfectly legal in the sport. Like no MX glove on earth is good enough. The Cleto Reyes gloves, those aren't good enough. You know, it's crazy. And I know what people will say. Look, hey, Oscar De La Hoya made Mayweather wear the Cleto Reyes gloves. You know what he did? And you know what? That was bullshit too. Right? It's same standard. I don't believe A side or B side. None of that should dictate normalities. Okay, meaning if you're the A side, that means you're going to make more money and you're going to make the lion's share of the money. Okay, you get to walk out to the ring last. They get to announce you last, and your name is first on the poster and all that good stuff. That's great. But standard procedure, meaning if gloves just in general are legal in the sport, you should be able to wear them. All right? You should be able to wear them. You should be able to wear whatever gloves you want to wear. I don't think that another fighter could dictate to another fighter, no, I want you to wear this type of glove. And one can argue, and maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, I just saw De La Hoya out there talking about how Mayweather was bad for boxing and this, that, and the third. You know, I know what De La Hoya is talking about because, he's a very defensive fighter and blah, 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 right? Just because, De La Hoya, I mean, what you did in the last 4 rounds against Trinidad, I mean, that was really good for boxing, right? But that aside, I mean, let's talk about setting precedents here, right? Dictating the type of gloves that your opponents can wear, right? And obviously, this is not, unique to De La Hoya and Mayweather, and it's happened before. It's happened before. Now, usually, it was handled in the contract, right? It wasn't like the day before the fight that, oh, no, you cannot wear those types of gloves. Wear my gloves, right? I mean, this specific situation is very unique because it was not in the contract, right? And they demanded that Maidana wear Mayweather's gloves, and eventually the compromise was, okay, they have to pay, by the way. If it was in the contract, they wouldn't have to pay shit. They could have sued Garcia or Maidana, okay? They had no grounds to sue. So they had to pay up in order to have Maidana agree to wear the regular Everlast gloves, okay? Not the MX gloves. So anyway, I always thought that was insane. And looking at how close that first fight was, if you don't believe that having the MX gloves would have made a difference, right? If you don't think that would have made a difference, I don't know what to tell you, right? And Mayweather stood in that post-fight press conference and said it didn't matter, right? And he said, I'll fight him with those gloves too, or something like that. So obviously that didn't happen. Now, the second fight, they don't have an argument. They agreed to the terms. Okay, they agreed to not allow those type of gloves. They allowed Pacquiao to wear the Cleto Reyes gloves, but they didn't allow Maidana to wear them. That's insane, right? And then, of course, you got the Conor McGregor fight. Now that situation's hilarious because it seems that Conor doesn't even know like the significance of that. You know, like you would think he would want to punch his glove, and to be honest with you, he had some negotiating ground here, but he didn't have people around him that really know the difference. Like even his trainers, like, oh, the Mayweather camp, they were making all these demands, like that just don't matter to us. We're like, okay, whatever. Like you can't wear Mexican gloves, or you can't wear gloves made out of horse hair, or you can't wear MX gloves. Like, you know, you would think that's the type of glove he'd want, you know, but I guess not. Okay, they're saying he has a puncher's chance. Dude, he would. He's not going to win anyway. But I'm just saying, right? How clueless he is to the whole thing is it's almost it's crazy, right? It's insane. What's astonishing is that Mayweather never really had a problem with the type of gloves, at least historically, that his opponents wore for a long time. It wasn't until he started having hand problems, okay, and the hand problems were really bothering him, that he really started to impose like restrictions on gloves on his opponents, right? I mean, this shit's crazy. And again, I know, hey, if guys agree, then they agree. Contracts are contracts, right? All right. Well, spare me for wanting to have standardized regulations across the board. You know, like in my opinion, there should be a if a punch if a boxer wants, like, at the end of the day, all right. Boxing gloves are designed to protect your hands, not your opponent's head. Okay, that was the intent of the creation of the boxing glove. Right, that was the intent behind it. So there's nothing wrong with gloves that protect your hands, but if they protect your hands too much, and at that point they're no longer like, you know, they're not ideal for trying to knock guys out, then that's your problem. It's not your opponent's problem. So me, I just I laugh at this, man. Like this is like it's old news, right? It's out there, but I'm telling you, man, um, that would have been a very, very interesting fight if Maidana was able to wear those. Um, Again, I'm not talking about those Argentine gloves, okay, but I'm talking just in general, Everlast MX gloves, okay, which, by the way, when it comes to, like, and for those saying, no, but those gloves are this and that, let me tell you something. There's dudes under, that were using MX gloves, all right, on Mayweather Promotions cards. Like, it was stupid. Like, they're talking all that shit about those gloves, but like their own fighters were wearing them. Like, everybody deep down knows there's very little defending this. Okay, like it. Now I will say, Mayweather's had problems for a while. Okay, I still maintain, and I believe this, that one of the main reasons Mayweather had a pretty, I believe he outboxed Oscar De La Hoya, right? I thought the fight was a little closer than like the Max Kellermans of the world talked about it being. I thought it was a very, very competitive fight, but I felt Mayweather outboxed him clearly, won at least 7, 8 rounds for sure. But it wasn't his best performance. I think it had a lot to do with the glove. Okay, he did not feel comfortable, and these were at 10 ounce. Okay, he had to wear 10 ounce. I believe it was 10 ounce. Yeah, they were. 10-ounce Cleto Reyes gloves. At that point, um, his hands were already brittle. Okay, and De La Hoya wanted him to break his hands. Okay, but I think that had a lot to do why Mayweather did not perform as good as he could have in that fight. Right, and and if you don't think he knows that when he imposes gloves on his opponents, then you're crazy, right? Like you're very crazy. It wasn't right when Oscar De La Hoya did it, and it's not right now that Mayweather's doing it. I don't think any A side, B side, none of that bullshit should dictate that whatsoever, right? We're living in a very advanced age where you have basically, if they want to, if commissions out there want to ban a certain type of glove, then they go ahead and ban it. But if it's not universally banned, right, then I don't believe any fighter should be prohibited from wearing their gloves of choice. That glove is designed so they don't break their fucking hand. They're not designed to protect your face, right? That's not what they're designed for. And I think that's very important for people to know, right? Anyway, just one of those things. 1.5 million, 1.5 million dollars. I don't know, like when you hear about the purse, no wonder Maidana like fucking got all overweight and went over there to retire fucking Argentina, right? That dude is the king of Argentina right now. Marcos Maidana runs Argentina, right? That dude, he's the Marcos Maidana, right? I think he bought most of Argentina already with that money, right? Marcos, let me tell you, man, I never seen a dude like just after the rematch, that guy, I mean, he was gone. Like, he just like, I'm out. I'm good. Okay, I don't want to shit do this. I've been boxing since I was a kid. Okay, I'm done with this sport. Okay, this whole like I'm a warrior, and he didn't do a Bernard Hopkins like I'm gonna box on 50. Fuck that. Okay, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm getting the fuck out of Dodge, right? Right? Fucking that dude. I never seen a dude like get out so fast, man. Like I seen guys retire because they got a beating, they got a career-ending injury. Maidana could have kept fighting. After giving Maidana after giving Floyd like one of the toughest fights of his career in the first fight, and even though Floyd handled him in the rematch, like Floyd figured him out. Maidana had very little to offer, although he did stun Floyd for a little bit towards the end of the round, and Floyd sat down on the stool, right? The bell rang just on time, but aside from that, Maidana didn't really do anything in that rematch. Compared to other guys, he was way more competitive, but relatively speaking, Mayweather handled him. He did his business in that second fight. But after coming off of that, I mean, you would have thought. Honestly, I thought he was going to keep boxing. I thought he was going to have a rematch with Broner. Okay, I think he would have beat Broner's ass in a rematch, to be honest with you. The Maidana that fought Mayweather, right? The first time and the second time, I still think beats Broner, right? But I think he would have. I thought he was going to stick around, but he said peace. And when you look over Maidana's career, I mean, he was a 6-digit fighter. That's what he was. He made some solid money. Some 400,000 there. The 200,000 here, 700,000 there. I don't even know how much did he make 7 figures for the Broner fight. I think he did. But then he hit the lottery and he got that Mayweather fight. And if we're honest, people look, no one, including myself, thought Maidana was going to put up any good of a fight against Mayweather. He did surprise a lot of people. right, including myself. I actually scored that first fight a draw, right? And after I scored it, I couldn't even believe it. Okay, to this day, I had it a draw. And Mayweather fans came out, no, it can't be. Like, well, I scored it a draw. A lot of people scored it for Maidana. A lot of people scored it a draw. A lot of people scored it for Floyd. It was a close fight. Okay, I believe Floyd won it by split decision. It was a really close fight, right? And he got that rematch, and then in the first fight, he made 1.5 mil just to not wear his gloves. I mean, it's insane. I mean, this dude hit the lottery and then he jet. All that love for boxing, it didn't matter all of a sudden. I'm out of here. Okay, I'm gonna go, to the beach of Argentina, and I'm gonna buy myself some lotion, some sun lotion, and a lot of these girls in the beach, they need sun lotion. All right, I gotta go help them out. Okay, I've already done my piece for boxing. Some girls in Argentina on the beach, they need sun lotion, right? So I'm out of here. Peace. I'm gonna buy myself he probably bought himself like a nice crib, a nice house, right? Some nice suits, and got that gut going. I mean, he's living the life, right? Probably got one of those people with those, big feathers, like waving the air at him and stuff while he's just chilling outside of his home with sunglasses on. I mean, he's just living the life, okay? And that person's probably a female wearing a two-piece, something like that. I mean, Maidana, he's living the good life, right? Check it out, man. You know what's funny? For whatever reason, now no one wanted to see either of those fights, Khan or Maidana. Nobody wanted to see either of them. I remember when Mayweather Promotions put out like a survey, right, or like a poll, that is, who would you rather see Mayweather fight? Maidana or Khan? And everybody was like, what? Like, that's it? Like, those are our options? Like Maidana and Khan? Like, what? But Maidana was coming off that big win over Adrian Broner. That was a really big win for him. And then, he just had momentum with him. And I don't even remember, what was Khan doing at that time? I don't remember. Like, Khan gets knocked out every other fight, so I don't even remember. Right? He was probably coming off a win or something. But Maidana got the fight. Maidana got the fight. And, there you go. When Maidana got that fight, I remember that fight was highly criticized. Many fans did not want to watch it, but there you go. Khan is the GOAT, bro. Somebody put in the chat. I don't know if Khan is a GOAT. Okay, maybe those goats that like pass out all the time. Have you seen that like that goat that? Have you seen that goat that just like passes out of nowhere? I don't know if you ever seen those goats. That reminds me of Khan, right? Okay, that's Khan, right? Like, he's just all of a sudden he's out, like before you know it. You thought Khan lost to Algeria? I thought that was a really close fight. You could make an argument for Algeria, but I don't even remember who had won that fight, to be honest. All right, so some people talking about that first fight. I'll say this. I remember I did a video and I said that this fight's a draw. Okay, I had it a draw anyway myself. And it's funny because I started asking people, all right, you think Floyd won? Give me some rounds. Well, what rounds did he win? Right? And it's crazy because they could never give me the same rounds. Ever. They never gave me the same rounds. Some of them had Floyd losing this round, but winning this round. Some of them had him win another round, but losing this round. And I'm telling you, it's even they didn't have a consensus on the rounds that Floyd won. That that is a clear sign that this is a really close fight. When even the people agreeing with the winner can't agree in the rounds, how the hell can he not, see that it's possible that maybe the other guy won? Maybe. So even the dudes on here doing videos, they couldn't agree. They couldn't even agree. Who else is posting on here? Remember, Maidana hurt Mayweather in the second fight. He did, but it was way too late in the round. Way too late in the round. Like boom, he hurt him, and then the bell rang. He should have landed that, midway through the round or at the beginning of the round. Okay, he landed that way too late. People forget, man, Maidana is a monster puncher, right? That dude is a monster puncher. That dude single-handedly, I honestly believe he turned Victor Ortiz into a fucking retard. I honestly believe that. That's how fucking hard he hits, right? Victor Ortiz. Let's talk about Maidana for a little bit, right? Maidana's two biggest victories, right off the top of my head, are Victor Ortiz and Adrian Broner, right? Two fights where he was supposed to be, the lamb being put out for the slaughter. That's basically what it was. No one was taking Maidana serious in any of those two fights, really, especially the Victor Ortiz fight, right? Because nobody knew who the hell this guy was in the Victor Ortiz fight. Nobody knew who he was, right? At the time, I was a Victor Ortiz fan. Now, for those that don't know, I don't like Victor Ortiz, okay? But I was a big fan of Victor Ortiz at the time. He was knocking dudes out in the first, second round. He came out. I think he came out to some Michael Jackson songs. Michael Jackson had just passed away. He comes out, man, and then, Victor Ortiz comes out. Pop, 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 pop. He just starts punishing Maidana, right? Drops him and shit. Maidana gets up like this dude got up like I'm gonna whoop your ass for knocking me down. That's how Maidana got up. Like, how dare you just knock me down, boy? Then you got back up. I'm gonna beat your ass. Okay, that's what Maidana did in that fight. Okay, he just knocked me down. He just got back up and he started beating the shit out of Victor Ortiz. Right? Well, it was actually a competitive fight. But just as the fight progressed, you started seeing the will of Victor Ortiz beating out of him, right? See, you never wanted to get in that type of fight with Marcos Maidana, right? A fight in close quarters and exchanging is suicidal, that's suicidal via Maidana, right? And Maidana murdered the career of Victor Ortiz at that point, right? After that fight, Victor Ortiz sounded like a fucking retard, okay, in interviews. Did you see him after the fight? Oh man, I really got to think about what I want to do. I don't know if this boxing thing's for me. He made him quit the fight. He almost made him quit his whole career. Okay, he made him question whether or not he wants to be a fighter. Maidana body snatched, right? And he just took his soul. Like when in Mortal Kombat, that dude that would take dudes' souls. That's what Maidana did to Victor Ortiz, right? And for Victor Ortiz's career, he just walked around with a Maidana tattoo. And never, Victor Ortiz, he talks so much shit. Anytime they mention Maidana, just look at Victor Ortiz's eyes in every interview. The fear was there. The fear was instilled in him. Okay, he was scared of Maidana. Why do you think the rematch never happened? Victor Ortiz went on to do all these other things. He even got all the way to fight Mayweather, but he never got back in the ring with Marcos Maidana. Ever. After what that dude did to you, you didn't get back in the ring? I mean, that's when I knew Victor Ortiz wasn't a fighter, man. Right? Because it seemed to me like he had the talent to beat Maidana. He just didn't have the heart or the patience. Right? But Maidana he's a snap. And by the way, this was an underdeveloped Maidana. Maidana really did improve as the years went on. Like the Maidana that fought Victor Ortiz compared to the Maidana that fought, Adrian Broner, it's the same guy, but I think the guy that fought Broner was far more developed, had more experience at a higher level, right? And he was an experienced veteran at that time. By the time he got to Broner, he was officially a veteran. I mean, he had been in the game for a while. He'd seen, adversity and all that. Let's talk about that Adrian Broner fight, okay? Let's talk about that. Let me go over the comments here really quick. All right, and I quote, "I think he hit Victor Ortiz so hard that it turned him into a retard." I don't know. I was going to be quoting myself, by the way. I thought I was quoting like somebody else or something. All right. Anyway, I mean, have you not seen the way Victor Ortiz talks? I honestly think it's that Maidana fight. I really do. All right. But look, Victor Ortiz. Let me put it this way: of all the times Victor Ortiz quit, okay, of all the times he quit, he took a bigger beating before he quit in that Maidana fight. Like Maidana took, let me put it this way, Maidana took Victor Ortiz to a place, a very, very dark place, okay? And once Victor Ortiz saw that place, okay, who knows, I think he took him to hell and back, right? Every time, any other time, Victor Ortiz felt adversity like that. The only exception, by the way, is the Berto fight. That's it. Okay? But Berto got tired. He couldn't push Ortiz that much. Okay, he got tired in that fight. All right? And Berto had his own mental problems, by the way. So, but with that, not as bad as Ortiz, but he did. But anyway, Victor Ortiz, all right, in the Collazo fight, in the, whatever fight he quit in, right? As soon as he felt like, I'm going to go back to that place, the boogeyman, Maidana's coming to get me, like every single time he quit. Okay, because he felt like Maidana was about to come get him. Right? Every single time. Right? He started quitting a lot faster after he quit that first time. Okay? I'm just saying. Let's talk about the Broner fight. Right? This Broner fight's great, man. I love it because I don't like Broner. That's another guy I don't like. Right? Now, I'll admit this. Okay? I don't care about what Broner does outside of the ring or any of that. But I just, I never liked like the whole, demeanor that he had in the ring. That's me. Okay, I think boxing is a very serious sport. It's not a game. I don't like the fact that he hasn't made weight for some fights. And I mean, this dude hasn't even been, he's only been in the sport a couple of years, in the limelight, that is. And he hasn't made weight for multiple fights. And then, he just, rubbed me the wrong way, Broner. Just like Victor Ortiz. And I didn't like, it's funny because just like Victor Ortiz, I liked him at first, but after a while, I don't know. But the Marcos Maidana fight, I knew Maidana was going to win that fight halfway through the first round, right? I knew it. Maidana was throwing these thunderous body shots. Pah! But he was telegraphing the shit out of him, right? At first, I was like, like, Broner is seeing those shots coming. Like, what are you doing? but he just kept throwing on him. Pa! Pa! Like right to the body. He kept throwing him to the body, right? Later on, I believe it was the second or third round. I forget. I think it was the second round. Maidana did the same thing, right? But he actually threw it upstairs. I mean, he knocked Broner. He almost knocked Broner literally out of the ring. Okay, a dude fell against the ropes. Okay, I mean, it was some. It looked like he was tripped by Rey Mysterio before getting hit by the 619. Right. Now, credit to Broner, man. Not like Victor Ortiz. He showed heart. He got up. Okay, and he made it a dogfight. One thing you can't take away from Broner is that. Okay, like him or hate him. I mean, the dude didn't quit. He kept fighting. He took his ass beating like a man, not like Victor Ortiz. Okay. I think that was a rude awakening for Broner. Should have been a learning experience for Broner. I think that's the opportunity Broner could have taken and improve as a fighter and get more discipline. But I don't think that quite happened. Just a lot of distractions, Broner. You know what I mean? But anyway, that fight was something. Okay, that fight was something. And every time it seemed like Broner was starting to figure Maidana out, Maidana would just pop him in the mouth again, man, like with another big shot. Knocked him down again later in the fight. So, I mean, that was something. Okay. Hail Marcos Maidana. All right. This dude. Let me tell you something about Marcos Maidana. All right. This guy ain't playing around, man. Right. And I mean, thudding puncher. This dude was a thudding puncher. Okay. I mean, this guy was something. I think he was underappreciated in the sport. I thought he was going to stick around after the Mayweather fights. He didn't. I think he could have still made for a lot of great fights, man. I think a lot of the current lineup would just outbox him. Okay, they wouldn't brawl it out with him, which would be smart. But one fighter to look at that I honestly believe would beat the shit out of Maidana would have beaten is Danny Garcia. I think Maidana would have destroyed Danny Garcia. I honestly do. And I don't give a shit what Danny Garcia fans have to say about that. I really don't. I think Maidana would have beat the shit out of that guy. Right? Who disagrees, by the way? Okay, I knew Maidana was going to win. I was arguing with people left and right. He had a solid resume. He was big. And Broner was struggling with Paulie and guys at 135. That's right. I forgot about that. Broner did struggle with Paulie Malignaggi. I actually remember that. Like, especially early on. Like, I remember, like, Paulie was like, whoa, what the hell? Like, people were talking like he was going to destroy Paulie, But he didn't. He couldn't do it. I still remember, man, I remember watching fights at house parties and stuff, and a lot of people were convinced like Broner was the future. This guy's the future. He's the next Mayweather, All right. I kind of knew he wasn't the next Mayweather because he's just not as good as Mayweather. Okay, nowhere near. But I thought he would be in a better place right now than he is at the moment. I did. Danny Garcia, I agree. Danny Garcia would have slugged it out with Maidana because he doesn't have the foot speed to control range against him. And Marcos Maidana has better footwork and faster feet than Danny Garcia. See, a lot of people think Marcos Maidana is like this slow, plodding dude. And no, man. Marcos Maidana has pretty decent foot speed, okay? He has faster feet than Canelo. I can tell you that much right now. No, yes, he does. He has faster feet than Canelo. Okay? No, but nothing. He has faster feet than Canelo. Okay? Why do you think he was able to catch up to Floyd a little better than Canelo did? Right? Another thing, Maidana, his ring IQ. I mean, people act like he's just defensively irresponsible and shit. Maidana has a very good jab, okay? A very good jab. Maidana has a very, he had a very, or had, okay? Or I don't know what he has now. That dude, I mean, he's so out of weight. I don't think he can do anything now, okay? Um, he's, but he had, okay, Marcos Maidana had, when he was still an active fighter, he had a very underrated jab, right? Okay, very good hook. Okay, he was just very smart in there. Like when Broner was against the ropes, okay, trying to utilize his shoulder, which is good against conventional hooks and stuff like that. I mean, Maidana's overhand, his overhand was just killing Broner. Broner had no answer for it. People think, oh, like it doesn't look pretty. Like it's just there's science to that, man. There's science to that. Okay, it's when he would come in, man, his chin was always tucked. He never I can't think of other than him being fatigued and being in a big brawl or something. But it's could happen to anybody, right? In those circumstances. But he wouldn't square up. He wouldn't. Another thing, he wouldn't stand. He wouldn't do this thing where they admire their work. Where he would throw something and then square up. Maidana didn't do that. Okay, he always had his chin tucked. Okay, he was defensively responsible. I know that's very hard for people to believe. Am I saying he's Pernell Whitaker? No. Okay, he wasn't a Pernell Whitaker, but he was very defensively responsible. Okay, like he never came in all wild like people think he did. Okay, he wasn't a wild man. He just wasn't. All right, he was a intelligent brawler. That's what he was. Okay, and he wasn't this brute. Okay, he wasn't this you know what Maidana. Let me tell you, Maidana is a classic, like a classic bruiser, man. That's what he is. He just comes in defensively responsible, tries to get on the inside or at mid range and starts throwing bombs. Okay, but those bombs are calculated, and like in the Broner fight, look at what it did to Broner. Everybody wants to give Broner all this credit for being this unbelievable boxer, but Maidana outboxed him. That's how he got the first knockdown. I mean, Broner didn't even see that shot coming. That shot was not just thrown like just all wild. Like he set it up. Broner thought he was going for a body shot. And I never got to that point, by the way. Like midway through that round, I was like, damn. First of all, Maidana was just bullying him in there, and Broner tried to put this facade like, oh, I'm in control, and this is easy, and, all this and shit. Instead of trying to, offset what Maidana's doing. I mean, he just let Maidana do all these calculations in the first round. That's all he did. Maidana figured him out, like, quick. Oh, this is open for this upstairs shot. Broner always kept his hand low, right? Trying to imitate Mayweather and shit. Boom! I mean, just caught him upstairs, man. He got that knockdown, and, I mean, there you go. Thanks for those just coming in, by the way. Doc says he's a king Maidana of Argentina now. Yes, he is. He's like, I don't know who watches like Game of Thrones, but he's like the king of Dorne. Like that's what he is, all the way down there. He's the king of Dorne, right? Fat Maidana will knock Conor McGregor out. I don't even know if Conor McGregor can move. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't know if Maidana can even move right now, man. Like Maidana is so like the last time I saw him, I knew he was so out of shape. I don't even know if that dude could even complete a round, okay, without losing his breath. So I don't know. I don't know about that. He knocked McGregor out if he fucking caught him. I can tell you that much right now. You remember Maidana making Floyd miss punches? He did. Yeah. Floyd misses punches in all his fights, and he gets hit in every fight, okay? But he just misses less than others, and he gets hit less than others. That's all. It's high-level boxing, people. Doc says Maidana had a bit of that Holyfield in him in terms of recovering from being buzzed or hurt. Yeah, he did, man. Somebody mentioned earlier that body shot, right? When my when Khan hit him, Khan hit Maidana with a beautiful. That's the best body shot Khan's ever thrown, right? It's a thing of beauty. You got to see it. Maidana went down. Maidana, even it's like his expression, like he just. I thought it was over. Like, oh, this dude went and he went to the ground. He's done. Like this shit. Um, his, only Maidana could get a punch, fall on the ground, and get up and nearly knock the dude out at the end of the fight. Okay. Two things. Number one, if this was a 15-round era, Maidana would be even more of a beast. That's number one. Number two, if the fact that guy, I mean, his punch resistance was good, but his ability, and he was like Wolverine in there. Like you'll hurt him, and he'd recover quick, right? Like he recovered from that body shot from Khan. Now, it is partially Khan's fault. I mean, you would think you just hurt him with a body shot, Khan. Maybe you should keep going to the body, right? But Khan didn't do that. Okay, for whatever reason, Khan didn't keep attacking the body. I don't know, right? I think maybe one of the reasons Khan is very reluctant to do a full body attack is because he, when you punch the body, you leave yourself open to your chin. Well, we all know about Khan. We know Khan's a little chinny. Poor Khan. Every style has a science to it, says Mr. Doc. Every style has a science to it. That's true. Even the so-called dirty fighter, quote unquote. Dan the Man. I never really rated Maidana, but he was a decent fighter in hindsight. Yeah, he was. Maidana's like Mr. 2020. Like after the fight, you're like, you know what? This guy's not that bad. Maidana's like that dude that everybody was scared to say that he's good because you never really felt he was going to win. Like that's Maidana. Like that dude looks good, but I don't know. Everybody says he's just a brute and he's easily hit and is never going to win a fight. At a high level. But he was a really good fighter, man. Really good fighter. Maidana is wise to come out of retirement to face a UFC fighter. Says Doc. Yep, the only person I've seen survive a liver shot like that was Ali in the third Norton fight. That's right. It's crazy how much shit you forget, man. Like it's like people will be like, "Hey, remember this happened in this fight?" And you're just like, "Oh yeah, I remember that." Now I don't remember. I didn't watch it live, but I remember watching it on YouTube. That's crazy. I'm speaking of Ali, right? When Ali got caught, okay, with that leaping hook by Frazier, right? And the way he just got up, like the Undertaker, like I don't watch his wrestling, but he just got up, like he just popped up and just popped up to his feet. That is insane. Because that shot should have knocked him out. It should have knocked him out, honestly. I can't believe he got back up after that shot. You could watch it today, and it's unbelievable. Which reminds me, Kendall Holt, when he knocked down, he landed a bomb. Okay. Kendall Holt landed the mother of all bombs. Okay. He smacked it over Timothy Bradley's head. Timothy Bradley fell like a sack of bricks. When I watched it live, I thought Bradley was out. I mean, if I would have paused it there, this dude's done. Okay. La La Land. I think even the ref was walking towards it like, okay, this shit's over. Fucking Timothy Bradley just popped back up. I mean, holy shit. He just popped back up, dude. And then he went on to beat the shit out of Holt the rest of the fight. Couldn't believe it. That's right up there, with I'm not comparing Bradley and Holt to Ali and Frazier, but it's those two knockdowns are up there, man, with maybe they woke up when they hit the mat or something. Like, I don't know. And I think they were out on the way down. They didn't break their fall or nothing. It's fucking insane. Maidana admitted if there was more time left in the first round, he wouldn't have survived the con fight. Well, there you go. That was the most beautiful body shot Amir Khan's ever landed, man. I'm telling you that right now. And look, I clown Khan a lot, I really do. But if that dude had a chin, and we know he doesn't, but if Khan could take a punch, this dude he could probably still be undefeated, right? Like if he could take that shot that Canelo Alvarez hit him with, just eat that shot and just keep doing what he was doing. You never know. He might have won a decision. I mean, but some guys just they're not blessed with chins. The Undertaker. Yep. Round 11. It's amazing Joe didn't get Ali out of there. Isn't that crazy? For those that haven't watched it, round 11. Okay, or just it's on. It has to be on. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I saw it on YouTube. Okay, if you haven't seen it, see it. Okay, and I remember the first time I saw that shit. Okay, was years ago. I mean, way before the internet made it big, guys. There was a VHS market out there. Okay, and I was poor. Okay, I wasn't drop dead poor, but I didn't come from let's just say my household, like my early boxing days, I watched Scramble TV, okay? I heard boxing fights, okay? And then I watched them later on VHS, okay? And that's probably one of the reasons I hate Jim Lampley, because I had to hear him. I had no choice but to hear him. I couldn't just watch the fight, okay? And that's why I remember a lot of vivid things, like a lot of things George Foreman said. But I watched the Arturo Gatti Mickey Ward fight, the first one on VHS. I saw the Thrilla in Manila on VHS. Okay, I saw the a blockbuster here actually had a lot of Ali fights. The Norton fights, if I would have known, like one day Blockbuster was gonna shut down, like you don't know this stuff, but I would have kept all those tapes probably, I don't know what good they would do now, especially in the age of the internet, but it would have been nice to have them, But the Rumble in the Jungle, just all those fights, man. But anyway, I saw De Loya Trinidad on VHS for the first time. Like I saw it on. Like, I heard that fight through a Scramble TV, okay? And, I was mad. I was a De La Hoya fan, so I was mad that he lost. I didn't see the fight, okay? But I was mad. And I still, till this day, I still think he won the fight. But, I'm not going to cry over spilled milk. But I saw the fight on VHS, like months later, like probably a year later, who knows? It's hard to remember how long it would take, but those were the days, man. Or sometimes I would get them sooner if somebody would record the fights, like on VCR. That was a thing back in the day. Like I remember it was a Sunday, right? Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys the first boxing. What I remember about the first boxing fight I ever saw, okay, and why I fell in love with boxing, right? And I've told this story before, but I don't think you guys have heard it before, so check it out. I was at my uncle's house. I was a little kid, man. I was a little runt, right? I was out there playing with my cousins, and I don't remember what happened, but I got in a fight with one of my cousins, okay? And so we got in trouble or whatever. But, that was his house, so his dad sent him to his room. And me, like, I had to stay with my dad, but, they were on the living room. At the time, it was, those box TVs. It was a small screen, obviously, but it was a Sunday, and my uncle, like, he showed up. One of my other uncles, he shows up, and he has his VHS tape in his hand, right? And it's all like all the women are over there in the kitchen and shit, and I'm the only kid there, by the way. And he shows up with a VHS tape. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with that. He shows up with a VHS tape, and he's like, "Look at what I got," And I remember, like, my other uncle and my dad and all this, like, getting all excited. Like, I was like, "What?" Well, I got the Chavez fight. Oh, you guys aren't going to believe. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, yeah, I heard. I saw it in the newspaper. At the time, the newspaper was like a big thing, And anyway, yeah, they popped the VHS into the VCR, and there's HBO on TV. Okay, um, and I'm watching Chavez versus Meldrick Taylor, the first fight, and I'm sitting there. I'm sitting in the ground, or on the ground, or the floor, carpet, or whatever. My back against the sofa. My dad's sitting on the sofa, and all these grown ass men watching this fight. And I didn't know at the time, but I mean, Chavez, okay, he was a well-known fighter, but after that fight, I mean, he just became a stuff of legend, okay. And I just remember watching that fight in amazement, right? It was just amazing. The speed of Meldrick Taylor and the body shots of Chavez and Taylor. I mean, I didn't even know how to score fights at the time. I didn't know, but I kind of knew that Taylor was winning. Even at that age, I knew. But then the knockdown happens, and I don't know. I didn't even know it was controversial at the time. Okay, I just know Chavez knocked him out with 12 seconds left in the fight. Okay, I probably didn't even know it was 12 seconds at that time. I just know he knocked him out right before the fight ended. Okay, stories were so over exaggerated back then. They probably said he knocked him out like 1 second before the fight ended. Who knows? And then I was just like, damn, I want to watch more of this. I love the science of that violence. Shout out to 916 Chris, by the way. Rest in peace. Okay. And, I just fell in love with the sport then. And I've loved the sport ever since. It gives me a headache here and there, and it pisses me off here and there. But, it comes with territory. Somebody would love to see Bruce Lee in the UFC. Huh. People are talking about Bruce Lee. All right, well, let's talk about Bruce Lee. I might get myself in trouble for talking Bruce Lee. I can tell you that much right now. Right? You know what? This is what I'm going to say, okay? And I don't want people to get... Every time I talk about Bruce Lee, people get all touchy, okay? Look, obviously Bruce Lee was a specimen, okay? I'm not going to take that away from him. And he was a physical specimen. But first of all, a lot of his so-called accomplishments are or feats, let's call them feats, are like, there's no evidence of him doing these things. Like, oh, he had a one-arm stand for this long, and like stuff like that, okay? I'll say that. And I'll also say that, I mean, not for nothing, but it's all hearsay. Bruce Lee is all based on hearsay, okay? I'm just saying. And me personally, look, I grew up at the very young age of 6, okay? I got into karate, right? My hero at a very young age was Chuck Norris. That was my hero, right? And I was in karate until like the age of 16. And I loved karate, right? But I got in it because of Chuck Norris. And what I don't like is When people start telling stories about, oh yeah, yeah, Bruce Lee beat up Chuck Norris, when there's like no evidence of that ever happening. Well, so and so said it happened. Like who? Like Bruce Lee students did. Like, what? Yeah, yeah, and Lamont Peterson's trainer said that he was beating up Floyd in sparring too. Like, you know, what does that mean? Okay, like it's. I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure Bruce Lee could whoop a normal dude's ass. I'm pretty sure he could. Okay, he whooped my ass. Yeah, sure. But you know, to whoop a world champion, you know, like Chuck Norris, I'm not sure about that, and we have no evidence to make that claim. Right? That's all I'm going to say. And before anybody says, "Oh well, he's a godfather of MMA," like, okay, look, man. Ch- Chuck Norris was already experimenting with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and all that. Like, you know, he was already doing all that. I mean, I'm just saying. Um, but I'm just gonna piss people off, man. People get real touchy about Bruce Lee, right? Like when people say, "Oh yeah, you could get Bruce Lee and put him in the UFC right now, he'd dominate." I don't know about that. Like, really? All right, this is about to hurt some fanboys' feelings. There is footage. I'm guessing you're not being literal. Well, can you point me to the footage? Like, it's all hearsay with Bruce Lee, man. It's. I'm just saying, it's all hearsay. Okay, it's. Wow, there is footage. There's this, there's that. Like, there's footage of him, quote unquote, sparring. You know, there's just like I understand that there's that, and there's footage of him like showing off the 1 inch punch, but like we know the physics of that. This number one. Look, you don't even know that dude threw himself, man. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, okay. Like it's all the you can't I'm just saying. Well, what footage? I'm interested to know what footage you're referring to. There's footage of Bruce Lee on YouTube. And you know what's funny? Because people will get like, oh, no, look, Bruce Lee had technique. Look. And then they always show me like shit from film. It's a, it's a movie. Like they probably took 4 or 5 takes of that. Like Bruce Lee did study a lot of martial artists. He did. And he emulated a lot of stuff in his movies. Sure. Right? Like Ali's footwork and just different stuff, right? He took a lot from boxing and that's great, but can somebody show me like is there a fight that Bruce Lee had? Because like the only fights I hear about, like I heard about when he got choked out by that judo dude, like I heard about that story, and then somebody tried to tell me, I'm not going to mention any names, because the person that told me this, I actually have a lot of respect for them, but when it comes to Bruce Lee, like, Bruce Lee was already developing a grappling method that was far more advanced in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu after he got choked out. Like, what? Oh, yeah? Well, really? So why is anybody using it then? He didn't share with anybody? So did he compete with anybody? Like, what? How do we know this? Like, what? I just, like, who said that? Like, what? Choked out by which judo dude? I don't remember the dude's name. Look it up. Judo practitioner chokes out Bruce Lee, right? And look, in fairness, that's a story too, right? But when you really hear the accounts, and here's some other stuff, and look, hey, look, man, don't hate me because I'm telling you Santa Claus isn't real, okay? But Bruce Lee was never in a real sanctioned fight. That's just the reality, okay? That's just the reality. So at best, we don't know, okay? I don't know how good he was, and neither does anybody else. Okay, all people give me are quotes. Oh, but Bruce Lee was like water. Like he wasn't like he said be like water, but it doesn't mean like just because he said that like doesn't mean that he was like water no matter who he fought. Like come on. I had an argument with somebody about Bruce Lee versus Cain Velasquez in the fucking octagon. And I said, Velasquez, first of all, is way too big. He'd take Bruce Lee down and destroy him. No. But Bruce Lee, I mean, he was so fast. I mean, he would start kicking him in the foot and he wouldn't be able to catch up to him. Like, come on. I mean, come on. Based off of what? I'm just saying. Yeah, well. I also hear a lot of accounts of, because people talk about his speed. He was a quick guy, he was, but I don't know, man. I hear a lot of like, something happened. Okay, I think a lot of, I know I'm gonna piss a lot of people off. Okay, but at one point, okay, it was very beneficial for you to praise Bruce Lee in the martial arts community. Okay, because Bruce Lee was very popular. Right, so a lot of guys would praise Bruce Lee. Right, like nobody wanted to criticize him. Right, so I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of stuff you could find. Right, it's when you really look into it. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, he was just an actor and that's all he was. That's not what I'm saying. Okay, he was this is what Bruce Lee did. Okay, Bruce Lee introduced the Western world. Okay, to to martial arts. That's what he did. Okay, and that in itself is unbelievable. That's an unbelievable accomplishment. Okay, he really helped popularize it. That is okay. Karate was around at the time, but I mean, he kind of introduced to the world that there's more than just karate, right? Or boxing for that matter, or kickboxing. Okay, but um, that's big. His movies, I love his movies. Okay, Enter the Dragon is one of my favorite movies ever, right? He was a very strong individual for pound for his size. He was unbelievably strong, right? He was a specimen. Okay, so I have a lot of positive things to say about Bruce Lee. Okay, but when people say things like he's the best fighter of all time, to me, this is just me. That's very disrespectful to people who actually fought in sanctioned fights. Like that's just me. It's like no offense, but if he didn't show improve, then what do we have to go by here? Just hearsay? Like really? I'm just saying. I think Bruce Lee's influence in martial arts in more cultural than literal. However, he's a childhood idol. Him and Mike Tyson were main reasons why I became a fight fan. Bruce Lee's the reason why a lot of people got into martial arts and stuff like that. Yeah. And Tyson, obviously, Tyson needs no introduction. Let's talk about Tyson. Let's get away from this Bruce Lee thing. People get real touchy, right? Now, Mike Tyson, I will say this. Mike Tyson, like, I thought, like, I'm trying to, like, this was the 80s, man. I was a kid, right? It's when people say the stuff of legends, like, when I watched Mike Tyson fights as a kid, I think it's the only time really that I remember watching a fight and being scared for the opponent. Okay, like I thought Mike Tyson was going to kill somebody. Like he never killed anybody, but it's the feeling I got. Oh my God, he's going to kill this guy. Oh, he's going to kill this poor guy. And there was I don't know what it was, man, about Tyson fights. I don't know what it was, but I remember trying to remember here. I didn't watch that fight, but I think they were showing a replay or it was on a delay or something like that. But I remember like all my cousins were in a room and they were watching Tyson fight, and they all came out in amazement. They couldn't believe what they just saw. And they said Mike Tyson lost. Mike Tyson got knocked out, they said. I couldn't believe it. Okay. Now I didn't connect Tyson with like, I didn't really have an understanding of like boxing or like, I put Tyson up there like with superheroes, man. Like, it was insane. You know, I just knew he was the baddest dude on the planet, and he just lost. Like I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. Right? I just couldn't believe it. And then, right? Um, this was, of course, at a time where, by the way, I wasn't even into boxing yet, but I knew about Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson transcended beyond boxing. You know, it's like you weren't really watching it for boxing; you were watching it for Tyson. You know, and this dude was just something else. I whooped Tyson's ass in Mike Tyson punch out, though. All right. Like, first of all, am I the only one that I had a harder time with a guy like before Mike Tyson? Like, dude, before Mike Tyson, like I had to, like, it took me a while to beat him. But then, like, I didn't have a problem with Tyson. Am I the only one? Maybe. Yeah, Super Macho Man. Wasn't he harder? Like, he was. I remember when I finally beat Super Macho Man. Like, oh my god! Like, I'm gonna have to fight Mike Tyson now. Tyson was easy, man. I couldn't even believe it. I was like, what? I don't know, man. They could have made Tyson a lot harder in that game. Tyson's way too easy to beat in Mike Tyson's punch out, right? Like, way too easy. Yeah, Super Macho Man. World Mill. Was he like Mr. Sandman? You don't think he was tougher than Tyson? I kind of think he was. Like, was it like the second Sandman? Like right before Super Macho Man. I think he was tougher. Like Tyson was ridiculously easy. I couldn't even believe it. Like even as a kid, I'm like, well, why is it so easy to beat Tyson? What the hell's going on? You know. In fact, I think at one point I couldn't beat Super Macho Man. I think somebody gave me a code. You could put code at the time, I think. Like on the Nintendo, you could put the little code or whatever, and then it will take it directly to the Tyson fight. And then like I beat Tyson, like I think like my first or second try. And I was like, what the hell? And I went back and I still couldn't beat Super Macho Man. It was fucking stupid. Fight night round 4. You know, we need another fight night, by the way. They don't give us fight night anymore. What's going on with fight night, right? What's going on with fight night? They don't give us that no more, man. I don't know what the hell's going on. Sandman was a bitch in a tough way. Okay. All right. I don't know. Oh, that's funny. I remember. I don't know who remembers being so young that you didn't understand the concept of weight class. Like, I remember. Who did I ask? I think it was my grandpa. I was like, "Hey, grandpa, this was in Spanish. Well, when is Tyson gonna fight Chavez? I think it'll be a good fight." He gave me a look like, what? No, like he tried to explain to me like Chavez is too small, like can't fight Tyson, like shit was funny, man. Like, and like I remember having like a Atari. I don't know who remembers Atari, okay? And they had a boxing game, and it was weird because like they looked nothing like boxers. It was literally like it was a circle with like two little smaller circles, and the smaller circles would move, and that was your boxer. It was a white one and a black one, right? And then like I would like, you know, I would play with a friend or my brother or something, and we'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm Chavez." I gotta pick the white one. Just stupid shit. You're Tyson, like I don't know. Um, you know, was just very young and naive. All right, hey D-Style, what up, man? What's up, Zila? What do you think about Paulie getting whooped and sparring against McGregor? All hearsay, man. It's all hearsay. Um, in fact, since you guys are on, let me just play this shit. Hopefully, if you guys promise not to tell, okay, please don't tell. I'm going to be giving commentary about it, so supposedly you can, but hey, let me see if I can find this shit. Come on. If they flag it, they flag it. I stopped caring, man. So this is by, if you guys want to check out the video, okay, if you want to see the visual of it, okay, this is a video by Pop and Sports HQ. Paulie Malignaggi discusses sparring with Connor and trash talk.
Last night, and the world wants to know, how did it go? It's good. It was good. We did 8 good rounds of work. I'd say it was educational. It was a lot of trash talking, as me and him are both known to have a little bit. And like I said, we did 8 good rounds of work. It was physical work. It was good work, and Connor's coming along. What were your expectations going into the 8 rounds, your first 8 rounds with Conor McGregor? I didn't really go in with any expectations. I was told I would do 6, but I had a feeling it might go a little longer, if it got good and if it was what he needed, And, in the end, after the 6 rounds were done, we ended up going a couple more, We ended up doing 8. So, it was good work, and I look forward to continuing to help him out even more. This is sort of a unique fight, which I don't have to tell you, MMA fighter versus a boxer. So was there... What was that breaking the ice period like? You just get in and you just start fighting. How did that feeling out process? I know. In a championship camp, the sparring is intense. So I didn't expect to go in there and it'd be a picnic. Conor is a competitor. I'm a competitor. We got in there and there was a lot of trash talking right away. There was a lot of fighting right away, and there was in the end, you look back on it, it was kind of fun, because I don't have everybody that can match my trash talking, but Conor definitely can, So it was making a lot of fun. As far as the expectation is concerned, I wasn't sure what to expect. To say that a mixed martial artist coming to boxing wouldn't be awkward, it would probably be an understatement. He's going to have his own style. He's got his own set of things that he does, and he's kind of he's got a game plan behind it. It's not what people think. There's a game plan behind what he's doing. There's a method to Conor's madness. The people who do want to give McGregor a shot in this fight, the people who are giving him a shot in this fight, big reason for that is the left hand and the power, the ability that he's had to put guys down in his own arena with that left hand. Mm-hmm. Did you experience the left hand, and what did you think of it? Yeah. He's got some pop in the left hand. I can't take that away from him. I think in boxing, especially against a guy like Mayweather, you probably need to devise a few more weapons, and that's what Conor's working on. I think you come into the situation already knowing Conor has a big left hand. So if you're fighting Conor, you're probably going to prepare for that left hand. So obviously Conor's working on other things besides the left hand, so that there can be a surprise element to it too. In a game like I wouldn't say a game, but in a sport like boxing where it's just now fists, just striking, you're taking away the mixed martial arts element of it. Conor being known for the left hand is just one weapon. So there's going to be other things that he needs to make you worry about. And that's what kind of is being worked on in camp and whatnot. And, without giving away too much, he's effective at what he's doing. He's thinking behind, there's a method behind the madness. He and his team are working at it. And I'm sure it'll be entertaining and fun. What is the mood in camp? Is it real serious? Is it light? Is it experimental? Is it we're still kind of figuring out exactly what we're doing here? What is the mood? They are very serious. They're a championship team. They're a championship caliber training team. They're winners. They come from a winning background, and they're winners nonetheless. Once the sparring was over, we had a good talk. It was he's very cordial, and we had a good talk. And he expressed to me that he'd like me to stay for camp, for the rest of the camp, and we'll continue to work. And I was happy to be able to talk to him cordially, because before that we hadn't really been very cordial, including inside the ring. So the mood in camp when you're competing and when you're training is that of a fighter. I mean, there's no being nice. But of course, outside, yeah, you kind of let your guard down a little bit, and you want to relax your mind a little bit. And Conor's a human being just like everybody else. You're not gonna play that role for 24 hours a day. You get yourself tired just doing that.
Oh, there you go. Um, so, not that I want to read too much into this or whatever, but that doesn't sound like somebody getting their ass whooped in training camp. Okay, it sounds like let me put it this way, man. Okay, they had Paulie Malignaggi sign a no disclose clause. Okay, so Paulie can't disclose anything. He can't, and he just can't. Okay, everything Paulie is saying, believe me, it's only things he's allowed to say. Because you sign what you sign, right? Now, Paulie works for Showtime. Okay, he's not gonna fuck up his job, to make Conor look bad or anything. So he's not gonna say anything. We're gonna find out more. We're gonna find out what really happened after the Mayweather fight. Is when we're gonna find out. Okay. Um, the things Paulie is like, but there's a thing called tally on yourself. So when Paulie said, "Oh yeah, the left hand, we can't take nothing away from the left hand." But against Floyd, you're gonna have to work on more than that. So we're really working on other stuff other than the left hand, right? So to me, that's a very telling statement. So obviously, it's a good thing that Conor's working on something else than the predictable left hand. But it also tells me he doesn't have anything else right now. That's what it tells me, right? So Conor could put his hands back behind his back for a photo op all he wants. He could take all these still photos of sparring session all he wants. It doesn't tell us the full story. Okay, he had still photos of the Van Heeren, sparring session too, and he looked phenomenal in the still photos. But when we saw the entire sparring footage, we saw what really transpired, right? So, we'll see. If he's being competitive with Paulie Malignaggi and sparring, that's not a good sign. Then probably just get knocked out. Like, right? Then he retire because he got knocked out or some shit. Okay, and I'm talking in terms of because he's going to fight Floyd Mayweather. I'm talking in terms of that. So I was saying, but nonetheless, we'll process it as we go. You don't keep you in camp if you get your ass kicked. All right. They keep you in camp if you're putting in good work. Okay. If they see, oh yeah, this guy's going to give us some work and this shit we have to improve, they'll keep you in camp, right? My only thing is this: Paulie fights nothing like Floyd, nothing. So is Paulie emulating Floyd? Like I'm just trying to understand. I guess I don't get it, but we'll see. I mean, Paulie is a great boxing mind, right? He always had a gift of gab. He's great on the mic, and that's one of the reasons he does very good on Showtime, right? Can he pass knowledge to Conor? Sure. Which brings me to this: that there's a lot of people in the boxing community that are not happy with Paulie, right? Because he's over there trying to help Conor, right? Um, I don't have a problem with it, but Paulie's getting paid for this shit. Paulie's getting paid for this, right? You don't spar for free. Okay, and I'm sure the Conor camp. I don't know how much, but I'm sure at the very least, like you would. I mean, I don't even want to throw numbers out there because I don't know, right? But I'm pretty sure Paulie is getting paid pretty good here. Okay, and Conor, if Conor really did express, I want you to stay with me till the end of training camp, he's gonna get paid. Okay, plus he's getting paid by Showtime. You know, I'm just saying. Paulie was a decent fighter, I'll say. Paulie has good inside boxing. What does Connor have to lose? Inside in boxing, yeah. I thought you tried to say inside boxing. I was like, I don't know about that. Um, but yeah, I was gonna say something. I lost my train of thought. I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, there was an MMA fighter. What's the dude's name? He just beat Aldo. What's his name? So somebody put his name in the chat. And he also went to decision against Connor. The only guy that's gone decision with him, other than Nate Diaz, of course. What's that guy, man? The UFC light heavyweight champion right now. I don't feel like Googling it, right? But apparently he offered to spar with Floyd, right? So Floyd could have insight on Connor's style or whatever, right? On the distance that MMA fighters fight on and all that. And so I saw that on social media. I think it was Facebook, and all the MMA fans, like, oh, traitor! Doesn't he see that this would be big for MMA? What is he doing? Trying to help Floyd? It's just hilarious, man. It's just funny how boxing fans of both, right, or how the boxing fans feel betrayed by Paulie, and the MMA fans feel betrayed if some MMA guy tries to help Floyd. It's just it's just funny to me. Holloway, there we go, Holloway. So allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly. I don't even know if it's true. I just saw it in the headline. And half the shit on social media ain't even true, right? But would you blame Holloway? Like if he got paid to do it, like would you blame him? He'd probably get paid more to spar Floyd than he gets paid in the UFC. So there you go. Like, why wouldn't he do it, right? It would help promote the fight. That's what they're doing anyway. All right, just saying. Like, oh, Paulie, the boxer, is helping Connor, and oh, Holloway is helping Floyd. Like it's just makes shit interesting. Paulie can't break Connor a bad habit in 2 months. Dude, it's not even 2 months. The fight's like next month. 2 months? Like you mean like 5 weeks? But they just sparred for the first time, and you know what else though? Like Paulie, I just saw the video. Paulie, he looks out of shape, man. Paulie looks out of shape. He's not in boxing. Paulie Malignaggi is not in boxing shape. All right, he's not. He's nowhere near what his fighting weight was. Okay, so Connor's supposed to have some, and who knows? Like everybody that thinks Connor's like destroying him, and like, you don't even know that. For all we know, they had a competitive, sparring session. But if he's having a competitive sparring session with an out of shape Paulie Malignaggi, okay, then we got problems. Okay. Yeah, maybe he can get Connor accustomed to getting his ass handed to him without hurting him too much. Oh man. I think if they kept Paulie around, man, there's a reason for that. I think that's very telling. That's very, very telling. We'll see. You guys got any questions before I roll out of here? Any questions? 5 weeks is not enough time to break Connor's bad habits. This is truth in his word, by the way. He can't teach him anything in 5 weeks. Well, he could teach him some. I mean, he could teach him something. I mean, I don't know about nothing, but I'm sure he could teach him something. He could give a lot of insight. But let's be honest, like, how would Paulie Malignaggi versus Mayweather look if we're honest? I mean, Mayweather would destroy Paulie. I mean, in all reality, especially since Paulie can't fucking, that dude couldn't crack an egg, right? Mayweather will destroy him. So I'm trying to understand how sparring Paulie in any way, shape, or form, and I get it. I mean, he has no boxing experience. I mean, this is the position he's in. You know, I think Connor will get knocked out in under 6 rounds. I believe for that person that asked. Connor actually has decent head movement. Yeah, it's all right. We'll see how consistent a head movement is in a boxing fight. Can Paulie hurt anything? Like, look, I saw fights where Paulie was just like beating the shit out of the dudes, right? Like, pop, 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 and he still couldn't knock him out. You know, like he'd fuck up their face and shit. But like he couldn't knock. I never seen a guy hit somebody so many times. He couldn't knock him out. It's insane. Are you gonna watch HBO's super flyweight card? I'm sorry. And do you think Chocolatito wins his rematch with SSR or same result? I don't think Chocolatito's gonna win. I've been saying this since the Cuadras fight. Chocolatito's on a downslide, and a lot of these smaller fighters, their bodies don't they break down a lot faster. That they break down quick. So Chocolatito right now, Chocolatito, he's an old man. I think he's gonna lose. I think he's gonna lose his decision. Actually, he's a warrior, but I think Charlo will do it at 160. Charlo will be fine. Which Charlo's moving up to 160? One's already moving up? I didn't know that. Let me go. I don't really think much of the Miguel Cotto fight. I just know his opponent beat Robert Guerrero, right? I think that's all I know. But after seeing Robert Guerrero last weekend, what does that mean? Is Chocolatito on his way being shot or fighting at too high of a weight? I think Chocolatito, um, it's like he can't make the weights in the lower classes no more, and I think he's outgrown them. And the guys he's fighting now are just a lot bigger than him. That's number one. But I don't think he's shot. I wouldn't use the word shot, but I think he's starting to break down. He looks a little slower to me. It's still, and he's getting hit a lot. It's making for a great fight. Like the Cuadras fight was like before that was great. But he got hit a lot in that fight. And he's not, his punches aren't having an effect like they used to on opponents before. So that's very problematic. Jermell Charlo, yeah, he'll do great. Jermell Charlo, he'll be great, man. Yeah, shout out to ZZ Top, man. Shout out to Coach. Shit's hilarious. Somebody asked me something. Cormier versus John Jones. I'm looking forward to that fight. I love that fight. Right? They haven't fought in a while. Cormier's been more active, but you know what? John Jones is just a freak athlete, man. I mean, that dude's just a freak of nature. If they both come in prepared, John Jones is going to win. Right? I believe that. But if Cormier comes in prepared and John Jones, and as in the John Jones of old, or because there's a wild card with John Jones. That there's you just don't know how it's at least lately. I mean, there was a point in time where nothing could stop John Jones. John Jones was well on his way. Um, he was already considered the best in the world. I don't know if John Jones was ever considered the best pound for pound. I think it was always like Jose Aldo or George St. Pierre or something like that. But I don't know if he was ever number one, but to me he was. I think he was obviously the best fighter in the whole sport. But he's just a gifted guy, man. He looked like he had everything together. He just did. And then, the cocaine thing came at a surprise, and the hit and run all that came at a surprise, and he got popped, and it just what happened at UFC 200, it's insane, and so if the fight even happens, that's the other thing, right? If the fight even happens, and John Jones is prepared, there's no reason John Jones shouldn't win that fight. But if John Jones is not 100%, if he shows up anyway, and he's not 100%, he's got to be 100% to beat Cormier, but we'll see, man. I can't wait for that fight. Okay, I just can't wait for that fight. I'm not here to give you a big MMA breakdown, by the way, if that's what you're expecting. Okay, but that's the best I got, right? Okay, John Jones number one pound for pound for when Weidman knocked out Silva until this day. I mean, I would agree with you, but like in my opinion, he was. But is that what who does the pound for? Was it the UFC that does their own pound for pound, or like who does pound for pound for MMA? How does that work? I don't even know. I have no idea. But they had Aldo number one pound for pound for a while. I thought that was crazy, and I liked Aldo, but I mean, I don't think it was as good as John Jones, But somebody says good analysis. I didn't really break it down or anything, to be honest, but I'm just going by the feeling I got. That's all. I think the wild card in that fight is whether or not Cormier could take down John Jones. If he's not able to take him down again, like he wasn't in the first fight, he's done. I mean, John Jones is a far superior striker, and you all saw, if you saw the first fight, I mean, it was clear to see John Jones was just outpowering him. I mean, I never seen Cormier look so weak in there, to be honest. I see Cormier in there with Josh Barnett. I seen Cormier with some big dudes, but he looks so ineffective in his takedown attempts. It was honestly, it was crazy, right? It was crazy to see. I mean, for those that saw it, I mean, just the way Cormier was just ragdolling Henderson, and I mean, this it's crazy, and he couldn't even do much to John Jones in the clinch. It was crazy. Yeah, I agree with Mexico native. John Jones should be number one still. Um, I guess, the only down thing is that he hasn't been that active. Do you think Floyd fights again after McGregor, or is it his final fight? Later, Hulk. Floyd Mayweather. If he retires, I'll be fine with that. But I think he's gonna retire. But if he does retire, that'll be fine. But if he does fight again, you know, I like to see him, fight like an Errol Spence or Keith Thurman, a top welterweight. That's what I like to see. Or if he wants to fight a top, 154 pounder, I mean, he'll fight Conor 154. Maybe he could fight one of these 154 pounders. I'm pretty. A lot of them will take if he wants to catch weight and gloves and all that, they'll give it to him, right? Okay, there you go. But I like to see Floyd in there against. There's a lot of good opposition out there, or maybe the winner of Gennady Golovkin versus Canelo. Possibly, who knows? But I don't think Floyd's going to go any higher than 154 to fight any of those guys. So I don't know if the fight will happen. But there's options out there. There's options out there. I felt it was going to be the Pacquiao fight, but we saw Pacquiao just lost. But if he comes back and he fights fucking Jeff Horn, I don't know. I'm going to be fucking pissed, man. Like, I have this sickening feeling in my stomach that Floyd might fight Jeff Horn. Okay. But what are you going to do? Laters, brother. Lara, I don't know about Lara. I don't know if I want to see Lara versus I love boxing, man. Anybody that knows me knows I'm a purist, but I don't know if I could sit there and watch Lara versus Floyd. Okay, I couldn't do it. But I think Floyd would win, But I don't know if I could do that. But let's see. I was reading your message, Dan, man. I don't know, the system did something. Come on, Mr. Doc. Lara versus Floyd. Come on. No more than 4 punches will be thrown per round. Honestly, it's just and Floyd will land 3 and Lara 1. Like that. That's that'd be the fight, man. I don't know if I want to see that, to be honest. None of them are gonna do the initiative, and be the aggressor. I don't, because then you're playing into the other guy's hands. So I don't know. I'd be the only one who wants to see Lara versus Floyd, I admit. Well, you and yourself and I. All right. Somebody just said Ultimate Warrior. Is that an Ultimate Warrior? Yeah, Ultimate Warrior promo. Look, Hulk Hogan. Look into nothingness. Look beyond your fears and take that step, Hulk Hogan. And make the sacrifice so that the power of the Ultimate Warrior shall be alive. Like something like that. I don't know, Doc. I don't know if I could do that fight, to be honest with you. But yeah, Andrade, yeah, sure. Right, I'd watch Andrade versus Floyd. I'd watch. I mean, I watch fucking Lara versus Floyd too. I'm just saying it's not my preference or anything, right? What about? I think Dan the Man asked about, does Canelo beat Gennady Golovkin, or does he have a chance? I think he has an excellent chance. Shoot, I think Canelo has a real good chance to beat Gennady Golovkin. Is he gonna do it? I don't know. Okay, but I haven't given my official prediction for that fight, right? I'm torn on that fight. I'm gonna be honest. I'm real torn. Okay, I want to pick Canelo. I really do. I want to pick Canelo. I would love to see Canelo win that fight, but it's a tough fight. It's a tough fight. Okay. I have more thorough breakdowns on that fight later on. Once this Conor Mayweather shit dies down, more people will be actually listening about that fight. So El Polar versus Floyd would be good, but real boring. I mean, I'm trying to like ding ding round one, right? Like what? Like both guys would like circle the ring, and it would become like a like who's gonna who's gonna do the initiative, like you know what I mean? And that's how I feel that fight would happen. You know, like I don't think there wouldn't be a lot of motion to that fight. Let's just say that. The man thinks Canelo boxes him convincingly. Well, he can. But my only thing about Canelo, I really like Canelo, but I kind of feel like he forces combinations sometimes. I think it's okay to throw a 1-2 or just one once in a while. He kind of he always has to throw that one extra punch when it's like not necessary. Um, that's how I feel. I also think that I also think he takes a lot of breaks. You know, and another thing about Canelo is he uses a lot of energy feinting. You know, he should continue the feinting. I mean, he's really good at it, but he just uses a lot of energy doing that. And I don't know why he wears the gloves that he wears. He wears like Mayweather type gloves, like the fucking Grant and shit. I think I saw him use winning gloves once. So I don't know if Canelo has hand problems that we don't know about. Okay, I don't believe he has any hand problems. I don't know why he's wearing those gloves. Canelo should be wearing puncher's gloves, right? In my opinion, anyway. I mean, I guess maybe somebody knows something I don't know, but you know, but Canelo, I mean, it's when he connects the combinations, they look phenomenal. But it's when he doesn't connect that they just look forced. And the situational intelligence, of Canelo is still developing. I think, you know, it's if he starts throwing the combination and it's nothing's gonna land, and he'll still finish the combination. And to me, that's my biggest issue with Canelo. If he can change that and work on that, and that might require another trainer. Okay, but I think it's going to take another loss for him to change trainers. To be honest, because he lost to Floyd, but he says, "Hey, well, that's Floyd, right?" So we'll see what happens with Canelo. That's my biggest gripe with Canelo. But as I always say, at the highest level, we're nitpicking, man. We really are. Who remembers? Who remembers when Marcos Maidana was being proposed as an opponent for Canelo Alvarez at one point? In fact, I think they were going to do that. I forgot when they were going to do that fight, but um, maybe somebody could refresh my memory. But I remember that fight was proposed. And at the time, I felt like that was. I still think 154 wouldn't really be good for Maidana, but I mean, I think that would have been a really good fight. Looking back in hindsight, you know, like I almost want to take back what I said about that potential fight, but I'm trying to remember when that shit was. Canelo made 147 at a very young age. But his body was already, I believe, the fight with Jose Cotto, which is Miguel Cotto's brother. That was on the undercard of Mayweather versus Mosley, right? And Alvarez was Canelo was, I believe that was at 147. I could be wrong about that, but I believe that was the last fight he had at 147 anyway. And for a while, I mean, he was like fighting in the 150s and the, at a very, like, I never seen a fighter at such a young age like have all these weight stipulations. I've never seen that before. And he was fighting at the 150s, and um, I didn't like the way he got his first title shot. He didn't. They vacate the WBC championship was vacated. Okay, and instead of having the number one, number two guy fight, they just made Canelo number one without ever beating anybody in the top 10. And then they brought Matthew Haddon from welterweight up in weight to fight him. And then he imposed the catch weight. I believe the catch weight was 151 or 150, something like that. Canelo didn't even make the catch weight. And then he still won the title. I mean, it was insane. It was insane, right? Did they? Wow. I thought Khan was having the fight of his life, to be honest with you. You know? Khan was, you know? Khan was doing this, like those first 4 rounds. I mean, Khan was putting on Canelo, and then he just started to slow down. Like, it's just Canelo was missing those. Canelo was missing those bombs by inches, man. I was like, man, like Canelo just missed that punch, but like the wind almost knocked out like Khan, But once Canelo landed, I remember I've been on here way longer than expected, by the way, but it's all good. Um, I remember I was on social media, right? Funniest shit ever. Canelo lands, bam! Khan drops to the ground, right? Khan's out. I mean, he's out, okay? I saw so many people tweet, it was on Twitter, get up, Khan. Khan, get up. Like, get up? Like, what? What? Oh, man, this shit's insane. He wasn't going to get up, right? Are you kidding me? Did the ref even count? I don't think the ref count. He just went and just took off his mouthpiece, man. Oh, man, that's a NyQuil treatment right there, right? Whenever you get knocked out so bad that the ref just doesn't even say one, he just takes out your mouthpiece, like that's a brutal knockout. Okay, let me just get this motherfucker's mouthpiece out. He's done. Like everybody jumped into the ring like when Ivan Drago killed Creed, man. Everybody just jumped into the ring. Bro just took out his mouthpiece. Everybody just jumped into the ring and shit. Like, it's just crazy shit. Khan is dead. R.I.P. Khan was a big one. Hashtag R.I.P. Khan. I think Khan knows that there's an afterlife. I really do. I think Khan knows this. Okay, and he needs to give us the answers, right? Like, I want to know what happens when you die, Hey, Khan, when you died, like what happened? Because I know they brought you back to life, but what happened when you were dead? Did you see God? No? Khan looked comfortable. They should have let him finish his rest. Yeah. Yeah, man. They should just let Khan like be. You know what I mean? Like RIP. Like Khan looked like fucking the Undertaker just gave him the tombstone and shit. That's a conduct. All right. Any other questions, guys? Yeah, Khan's been the other side, man. I'll tell you. Khan has seen dead people. Okay. But could you just imagine like Khan being invited to some banquet or something, or something like that, and they're like, "Hey, Khan, we're gonna have this tribute for you. We're gonna have a highlight reel of all your knockouts." And Khan probably think like when he knocked guys out. No, they'll do a whole highlight reel of him getting knocked out, okay, or knocked down, and to this day, man, Khan fans get all mad when you see he has like a weak chin. No, he doesn't have a weak chin. Like it's hilarious, man. Khan was chilling with 75 virgins. Yes, he was. If there was tag team boxing, Brooke and Khan would be the best tag team ever. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Freaking Khan, man. Why is that, Doc? Maybe I'm missing something. Somebody just put Shabransky. Let's talk about Shabransky. Let's talk about Shabransky. All right? Shabransky. Are they still hyping that dude up? No? Yeah. What's funny is that when I first heard about Shabransky, well, I knew about him. Okay, but the first time I heard him get pumped up, like, because, he was just this tall Eastern European guy. A lot of dudes just got a hard on here for something like that. And like a dude in Ecuador. So, and another dude in his mom's basement with white powder in his nose. But when Shabransky, okay, um, him and Kovalev, I forgot who the fuck was the other guy. Okay, it's probably some Eastern European last name I can't pronounce. They were kind of the. I first came on here and people thought I was doing satire. Okay, they call him the murderous row. And it's funny because the murderous row got murdered in under like 6 months. Like, they all got murdered. They should call it the death roll. Right? The dudes were up for their time was up. And Shabransky was a real tough prospect. Yep, it was. Glass chin and glass cheekbones. I never got I mean, I shouldn't even talk. I remember, but at least my guy became world champion, though. But I would really, I used to pump up Linares. I'm still a fan of Linares. I am. Jorge Linares, man. I think he's a brilliant boxer, right? But he has that con problem, okay? And Linares does not have 99 problems, but con is one, right? Look, he has terrible. He just cuts easy, and I mean these are things that you don't know when you're watching an up and coming prospect. But just cuts easy, terrible punch resistance. But any given night you could beat anybody. I'll tell you that much. But I was a big fan of Jorge Linares. Shabransky brought the fear of his division. Yes, he did. And some dude on the Ward COVID at 200 card that got sparked by a Cuban. Wow. Keep them away from Cubans. That's the thing. All right. Oh, man. This is crazy. And whatever happened to Wilder and Ortiz? That shit was getting all pumped up yesterday. I got excited. Everybody was getting excited. I got excited. Everybody was like, oh, yes. And then that's boxing, right? I mean, did the fight even happen? Did it get signed? Is Stavern still trying to get a shot or what? According to betting lines, Connor's fighting Pacquiao this year. Is he? So Branson got tired of boxing. Yes, he did. What's up with Stavern, man? Like, what's up with that guy? I'll never forget the press conference, by the way. You know, where like, because Chris Arreola was talking all this shit, right? Like Chris Arreola does, and Stavern gets on the stand or podium, whatever, and he just talked about how he doesn't talk for like 2 minutes straight. I don't talk. I don't talk, man. I don't talk. Right? I don't talk. Like let's sit your ass down then. Like, what the fuck you doing at a podium then? You know, like, nobody said you have to talk. Just go up there and say, I'm gonna beat your ass on Saturday and sit down. I don't talk. Okay, I don't talk. Like, all right. Pocket needs a KO to build his confidence. Well, I'll never forget a coworker was like, "Hey, I heard Pocket got beat up by a teacher." Like, I was just like, I didn't even bother telling him about who Jeff Horn. I was like, yeah, he lost a teacher. Yeah. So maybe McGregor has a chance against Floyd there. Oh man, Pocket got beat up by a teacher. Severn's a Blaine hater. Nobody wants to see Severn Wilder too. I don't even think Severn wants that fight, to be honest with you. You know, like, why does he come out, like, when they're trying to make the Ortiz fight, right? And he just all of a sudden comes, I want to fight you. Like, what? Where were you, like, when Wilder didn't have an opponent? You know, like when Povetkin popped, you know, and all that shit. You know, what happened then? Well, wasn't Severn going to fight Povetkin, by the way? What happened to that? I don't know what happened to that. Was that when Povetkin was clean or not clean? I admit you're taking a Pat got beat by a teacher guy's money. Oh man. You know, I want it to be like, hey, you know, this teacher is like a silver medalist with a amateur pedigree, and you know, he's had like 16 pro fights. Yeah. But I was like, yeah. A teacher beat him up. Okay. You know, like I don't know if people, like he envisioned like his, because he has a little daughter, right? I don't know if he envisioned like his daughter's teacher like beating up like fucking Pacquiao. Like, you know, it's just insane. Povetkin popped again. You know, I'll talk about Povetkin's PD use, but I don't want to rush into conclusions. You know what I'm saying? If I start rushing, you know, into conclusions, you know, so some Russian fans might get mad. That was a U.S. conspiracy against Russia, Doc. It went all the way up to the White House. So that's what the collusion's all about. Everybody's all fucking investigating what the fuck Trump was doing with Russia, right? He was trying to set up Povetkin. That's what the whole thing was about. You know, that's all it was. That's what they try to do. We got Marble Mouth over there. Is he still doing videos, Marble Mouth? You guys are stupid. You dumb. I have a high IQ. You don't understand that you could test positive and then negative and then positive and then negative, and that means it's negative. Because the positives between the negatives don't mean anything. Shut up. Okay, and the dude comes on here. Oh, I know about how this drug works. Like, no, you don't know shit. Shut up. Sit your ass down. Okay, I still remember. Like, so, let's play a game of guess who. Okay, so somebody said, guess who said this, right? Guess who said, yeah, Povetkin looked a little weak. I'm not Povetkin. I'm sorry. I'm trying to rush into this, and it ain't working out. Um, Kovalev, Kovalev, okay, Kovalev, okay. So Kovalev, right? So Kovalev, apparently the guy said, and I quote, "I wouldn't be shocked if they were injecting Povetkin." I'm sorry, wrong Rush. Okay, I wouldn't be shocked if they were injecting Kovalev with substances to make him weaker when they were supposedly taking out his blood. Now, you can't make that up. Okay, like it sounds like I'm making it up. It does. Like if right now you're saying, "Oh, come on, you're making that shit up," then you're a smart person. But the person said this. Okay, but first of all, never mind the ridiculousness of somebody injecting something in you and then pulling out blood. And never mind that ridiculousness, okay? Because the way when you stick a needle to take out blood and pump it out to injecting something in you is a little bit of a different process. And I'm not a nurse or anything, I'm not a doctor, and I know that, okay? Right? But I'm just saying, okay? Um, Like Povetkin wouldn't know. Oh, by golly gee, what's that substance that you're injecting me with before you take out my blood? I'm a blatant idiot. I'm just gonna let you just put substances I don't know about into my body to make me weak. It's just stupid. Can't make this shit up. All right. Um, the answer is PP. He said that on his one of his last videos. But anyway, um, this has been great, guys. But I've had a long day, right? And this went way longer than expected, but it's all good, right? I ain't complaining, right? Um, Looking forward to more nights like this, and don't forget to check out my other videos, right? Let's see if we can arrange something. I'm not sure yet, but for the weekend, if anybody's interested in doing a hangout, let me know. Okay. Could talk Canelo versus Gennady Golovkin. That's a fight that's not really being talked. It's being overshadowed right now. If it wasn't for Floyd and Conor McGregor, I mean, Gennady Golovkin versus Canelo would be the talk of the town right now. That's obvious, and it will be. Once people find out that August 26th or whatever day it is just a show, okay, they're going to be eager for the real fight. So it's still going to be big either way. I am out of here, guys. Peace out.